Before I begin this sermon, I just want to say that if there are any little ears in the room, or if anybody will be particularly triggered by speaking about the shooting that happened earlier this week in Minneapolis, I will be talking about it, and you will not offend me if you leave the room to not have to listen to me speaking about it. So if there are little ears that you don't want to hear about it, or you yourself would like to leave, please feel free to do so. Getting an alert on CNN about a school shooting is unfortunately not as surprising as it once was. However, opening the alert and seeing a red-headed fifth grader reporting on the incident where his friend shielded him with his own body, that is a new point of devastation. Children reporting on the news, scarily calm and matter-of-fact. School shootings have become something that even a fifth grader is used to, and that must stop. Weston reported, "I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass window. The shots were like right next to me. I think I got like gunshot powder on my neck." The reporter asked him, "When you heard the shots, what went through your head?" Weston said while chewing gum, "The first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. And then when I heard it again, I ran under the pew." He knew. A fifth grader knew what to do when hearing gunshots. Both an insane reality and also a blessing that his school had taught him of this danger and how to stay safe. His friend shielded him with his small body, was shot in the back, and Weston reported to us that he went to the hospital, but he thinks he's okay now. How is it that in 2025, children are our reporters of hatred, of danger, and of murder? This week, in our Parsha, 3 verses in, we read, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof. Justice, justice, pursue. I would have argued this week, without the headlines of another shooting, that we are in need of hearing this verse in every walk of our life. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, leman tichye ve'yirashta et ha'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. Justice, justice you shall pursue, so that you may thrive in and inherit the land that your God Adonai is giving you. A common question, why is justice written twice? We get it the first time, pursue justice so that you can live more peacefully in your land. Makes sense. However, we need the word justice to appear twice. Why? Ibn Ezra shares that it is because we need to pursue justice whether we feel that we gain or we lose from the pursuit. The first justice indicates gaining something, and the second indicates possible loss. The other opinion he shares is that it is an ongoing pursuit of life, never giving up on finding justice for as long as one lives. The pursuit of justice is not just concurrent with tragedy, but rather a lifetime goal. Nachmanides points out that we must pursue justice constantly by going from our place to the place of the great sages, meaning from your station to someone else's who might know differently or even better than you. Justice is not about proving your own thoughts to be correct. Justice is the ethical and philosophical idea that people are to be treated impartially, fairly, properly, and reasonably by the law and by arbiters of the law. Laws are to ensure that no harm befalls another, and that where harm is alleged, a remedial action is taken. We are to pursue for our entire lives ways to treat all humans fairly and impartially, and to make sure that the law upholds a way of life that allows people to feel safe and cared for, and if possible, happy. That might mean that your opinion of something is wrong, and for sure, I own that opinions of mine might be wrong. However, if we are to pursue justice, that doesn't matter. What matters is what is good for humanity to feel safe, to feel cared for, and to feel treated fairly no matter who they are. My interpretation of tzedek, tzedek tirdof, is that we need the two words recited to be mirrors to one another. We need to see them back to back, to hear them repeated, and to recognize that one person may say justice, and another person may say justice, and if they are not talking to one another, no good will come of their opinions or definitions of justice. We need not be in agreement on every matter, but when it comes to the well-being, the safety, and the moral responsibility that we have to human beings, we must find true justice. Children should not be murdered. Sanctuaries, churches, mosques, temples should be used for prayer and not shelters for gunshots. Find someone who you can stand present in front of and speak of justice, and let them speak their definition of justice, and pursue together how you can find the justice for our world, for our countries, our city, and our community. We come across another phrase of mirrored imagery this week in an acronym often used for the month of Elul in which we find ourselves. Ani ledodi vedodi li. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. The phrase itself reflects the image of a mirror, seeing the person you love before you and knowing, feeling, and hoping that you are always their beloved as well. I often say to couples under the chuppah, your job in this relationship is not to change into a person that you think your partner wants you to be. Your job is to continue working at the person you are, the person they fell in love with, to be the best version you can be, and grow together as a partnership through that work. Partnership takes work, and seeing flaws in another person is time to support, time to pay attention, time to recognize, and time to make space for someone else. During Elul, we are to see these mirrors held up to ourselves, to our relationships with other people, and to our relationship with God. We are to find kernels of work in those relationships while looking in the mirror and dedicating ourselves to that growth. We are to look into ourselves and recognize what and how we reflect back the person we want to be. We are to approach someone else who mirrored behaviors back to us that we were not proud of and find the strength to say, I'm sorry. I want to repair this. Ani ledodi vedodi li, in a way, is the same as tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Both phrases of finding partnership in moments that are challenging but worth the work. One toward building a life and a family, and the other towards building a world and a moral system. Both can be phrases of experiencing another person as different from you and finding value in their ability to help you grow and help create something better together. The world broke a little more this week than it had already been last week. We are not yet doing the work of pursuing justice well enough. We are not yet looking into someone else's eyes and asking how we can help create justice for our world. We are standing in our own bubbles, hearing our own echoes and feeling pain and sorrow and despair, and sometimes joy and triumph, but without recognizing how partnership could help those moments grow into change by listening to one another, we're not doing any work. We must stop receiving news from fifth graders of how to dodge bullets in church. We must find ways to keep guns out of the hands of those who only want to hurt and are allergic to justice. We must pursue a world and a society where we remind ourselves of the definition of justice and not linger in I am right as a source of our own comfort. There is no world in which justice includes headlines of 2 children murdered. We must use Elul to focus on our most beloved relationships, mirror the behaviors that will help us grow, and go out of our chuppah to this broken world, hand in hand, ready to change this world into one of justice.